Like, yo, no rat, son. I know dudes that's rats, my bro, and they are murderers. You heard? They murderers. So
Yeah.
you can call them dudes a rat if you want to. Your life is gonna be in danger. You understand?
Them and the Savages, back at y'all another video, man. I got the homie, the one and only Saint Laz, man.
What's
Salute,
good, bro?
If y'all ain't know, I'm a huge fan, Saint Laz, you know what I'm saying? Y'all check him out on YouTube, bro. He official. Talk about Rikers Island to going up top, you know what I'm saying? Bro got some of the best stories, you know what I mean? Son is super entertaining. Son is a movie by himself. But also he got music, he got fire, you know what I'm saying? Just check out his page, he dope, you know what I'm saying? I'm a huge fan, salute. So I saw on your page, like a lot of people know you, at least I know you from, I got to know you from the Rikers Island joint. And I know you went up top, but I wanted to kind of start off and ask you, how did you, like I saw on your page, you talked a little bit about how you started rapping from behind the wall and how you went to the yard, you started spitting. But I wanted to ask you, like, how did you make that transition coming home to pursue the music? Because I see on your page, you really invested, you really worked with a lot of known name brand people out of New York, and I see you really invested in music, like you take it serious.
Yo, bro, I was one of the very few dudes that as soon as I stepped out the penitentiary door, like the next day, or if not the next day, the day after that, I had studio time booked. Like I used to be this newspaper called the Loop Magazine. It's like a big ass yellow newspaper. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And I got that joint. I found dudes renting studio time, and I rented time from this dude, my bro Mike. They call him Lex Luger. Shout out to Lex Luger. I started recording in Sun Crib for like $13 an hour, and like I think he was in Bensonhurst or somewhere in Brooklyn, and I just started getting it in, and I was calling dudes that I was up north with, like, yo, I got studio time, come meet me in Brooklyn and let's get it in. You feel me? We started getting it in. Real talk.
So you feel like that? So you just came home focused, like, all right, you had a vision and you was just gonna run with it.
I was thirsty. We used to have this little fake studio up north, this little joint called the Music Room in Hudson. And we used to be there, like they had instruments and a keyboard and a mic, and they used to let us record stuff in the music room. So we used to just be doing little songs there live. You feel what I'm saying? And recording them. So I was like, as soon as I get through the door, I'm in the recording studio. I ain't playing no games, you heard?
Yeah. Word. So, all right. So, do you feel like being up north? This is gonna sound kind of crazy though, but do you feel like being behind the wall? Because we know the streets in the rap game could kind of run parallel. Do you feel like it helped you as far as some of the connections when you came back with the music, as far as to like get next to certain people?
I mean, I came home. It was a lot of dudes that I was locked up with that was in the music industry and had their foot in the door and stuff like that. But it was also a lot of dudes that, they was in the music industry, but they was doing other things that, I might have not wanted around me because I wasn't trying to go back to the can for 100 years. You feel what I'm saying? But it definitely was a lot of dudes that I was up north with connected in the music game, and it still is. But I kind of always did my own thing. If I happen to bump into dudes, you feel me, and they show some type of love, then it was all love. But I never really was like, hitting up dudes that I was locked up with, like, yo, put me on, yo, get me to meet this dude. I never was really that type of dude. Like, I just was getting my money up and breaking bread and doing business with dudes. You feel me?
Last I did features with Jim Jones, Jadakiss. Y'all gotta check out his catalog. It's crazy. He also exposed some rappers I ain't gonna name who did bad business. You know what I'm saying? So, but what do you feel like was one of the jewels you got when you got next to somebody that was, I guess, big in the industry?
I mean, anybody I ever worked with, I always, took note to how they move, and successful people, I like to see their habits. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I like to see what type of dudes are. So it's like, it's a lot of dudes in this game that do bad business. And the reason why I know that is because I know a lot of dudes that do good business. You feel what I'm saying? Like, in the industry. So for an example, like a dude like Kiss, Like Son, I sent Son the track. He had that verse done within an hour. Feel me? And then there's other dudes that I did music with. They play games and have you waiting for 2-3 weeks for stuff like, and then it causes bad blood and bad business later on. But so from messing with a few dudes that is professional, that they in the lab at all times, they make it happen. I don't really have tolerance for dudes that don't conduct good business with the music tip, because I know dudes that's on legend level, and they conduct great business. You feel what I'm saying? So there's no excuses with that with me. You heard?
Yeah, word. Especially nobody want to chase nobody down either for something. If you're trying to work, nobody want to. Yeah, I shouldn't have to chase you down, especially if it's like I'm trying to work and I'm investing in you like as well, because you choosing where you want to work at or what you want to invest in. Yeah, so nobody want to feel like they gotta chase you around. Word, that's crazy. So all right, so you saying you was up north, you came home with a vision, you just started. How do you feel now as far as the rap game now? And then how and them celebrating like Bobby Shmurda coming home as opposed for Brooklyn. Know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about him and Rowdy?
I mean, you know, I'm an older dude than these dudes. You feel me? So I understand that it's you know, the super younger generation. You know, these is they artists. Like when I was that age, I was crazy about Wu-Tang, and you understand what I'm saying, stuff like that. So I understand the vibes that young people get. But what I do hope is, you know, both of them dudes is young still too. You feel me? And what I hope is, you know, I hope dudes don't come home and, you know, get trapped off. That's it. You feel me? So that I'd be happy to see dudes come home, but I also be worried that they're gonna get trapped off by, you know, the government or whoever's watching them. So, you know, I just be hoping that these dudes got OG dudes or big homies around them that's hipping them to the game about how not to get themselves trapped off with these mandatory minimums and RICO laws and all of these things that's out there designed to, you know, target poor Black and Latino people. You feel what I'm saying? So that's all I be worried about. But I'm happy that anybody is out that penitentiary for a fact.
Yeah. I definitely feel like they definitely got a big welcome home type of salute, because they the few, because you know the New York, a lot of people try to give New York this stigma recently, like they letting the rats live because of 6ix9ine, Alpo. Now I'm saying, like they try to put a little smut on New York name. So it's like I think that they stood up tall, and you know they stood up. Bobby took them a little more time for Rowdy. Kind of, you know, everybody want to give them their flowers. You know what I mean? Like it's like, look, some dudes are still stand up, even though everybody else like to push that other narrative.
You know, if somebody is familiar with, you know, criminology and the law and statistics and stuff, it's like basically it's estimated that one in 3 people in the streets, active street gangsters, active criminal, active gang members, things of that nature, it's estimated that 1 in 3 of them is a snitch or an informant or something. This is just what statistics say. This is not what I'm saying, but statistically they say 1 in 3 active criminals is either an active informant or at one time was an informant. You feel what I'm saying? I read a lot. I read a whole lot. So, and I read cop books and I read crime stuff. You feel me? So when I read these cop books and they give accounts of their life and history in law enforcement, the amount and the level of rats that be in these books and the type of snitching dudes do. Like I read a book recently called Alphaville that was about a dude in the Lower East Side, and he was a drug enforcement cop, and he worked his way all the way up to the feds, and he put in so much work. He was named Rambo. He's a famous cop from the LES, you heard? And basically, in that book, man, son was a drug enforcement cop, and he was like, 8 out of 10 people we put in cuffs was willing to do a deal to be let go. You feel me? It may have not been a deal on paperwork. See, a lot of dudes be like, oh, there ain't no paperwork on these dudes. Yeah, you might not be on paperwork, but that don't got nothing to do with what you said behind closed doors. You understand what I'm saying? To a dirty ass cop or whatever. So this dude was a narc, and he was like, yo, 8 out of 10 people we put in cuffs, and this he was talking about in the 80s and the very early 90s and the 80s. He like, most drug arrests, like we catch a dude slipping with 3-4 bags of dope. Nobody ain't trying to go to Rikers Island for 3-4 bags of dope. So dudes was giving up names of they ops, like, yo, this dude is selling, you feel me? Just giving up some type of information to be let go. It made it not paperwork. So with that being said, I'm not really moved by the whole street thing. So after me reading books like that, when I see a crowd of 30 niggas,
yeah,
I say to myself, 10 of them dudes is an active informant or was an informant. So I don't really buy into the image of the streets being so real. That sounds good. It looks good. It looks good in the movies and all that. But in real life, people don't like to go to the penitentiary. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why I stay out the streets and I'm a YouTuber. Because me, I'm not ratting on nobody, but I can't say that about the next man. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know what's gonna happen with a dude when he's locked up. Me, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. So to avoid having to do 100 years for something stupid, I just stay completely out the way, bro, because I'm a paranoid dude and I don't trust nobody. I'm not gonna be trusting dudes in these streets, you feel me?
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. The right-hand man be the one who done put them on you. Like you said, it don't even gotta be black and white, but he'll put them on you. Like,
nah, you know, the feds is different too. I mean, a lot of dudes, they can hold up under different type of times, but when they talking to mandatory minimums, and I'm not talking about no rapper, I'm just talking about dudes in general, criminals in the streets. You feel me? Yeah. Dudes be holding up in the state time and stuff, but when it's time for the mandatory minimums, 10 years and 20 years for crimes, they be making people rats. Like the average dude who may not rat, when you tell them, yo, you gotta do this 20 years for something that the state would have gave him 5 years for, you make a dude rat. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that shit is rough. It's a rough game. So the best thing to do is stay out of it and find another way to make money, man.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. I be trying to tell, like, a lot of people I be telling, like, yo, it's not, like, I argue with some of the, bros or whatever, and I tell them, like, even with the whole gang thing, I'm like, yo, you gotta tone that down. Like, you don't gotta just be, you could be affiliated with something, but if they come and do a sweep, if they prove you a member, and, you know what I'm saying, that's all it really take. Because now you a member, you in these pictures, you all on the gram, you throwing it up. But your man who you don't know who you was with him Friday in the club throwing it up, but now they on him.
They got all those pictures. They got all those pictures. All of those pictures is saved somewhere as evidence. You feel what I'm saying? All them Instagram pictures, all that. Yo, I did this and this in the ops and all of that. I got a man right now, my little man. He in Nassau County right now, and I mean, son locked up. He got a fresh new one, BO and all of that. You heard? And it's like, I don't want to talk. I want to see him in real life and speak to him, but I'm about to give him the business. I'm about to tell son straight up, like, yo, bro, listen, you want to beat this case and come home? You know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to completely turn your whole life around, my bro. I'm talking about you might have to give up the gang stuff and all of that, bro, because you got to make a sacrifice, because the reality is, if you keep climbing in the ranks of a gang, you're going to find yourself a part of a RICO law sweep, and you're going to find yourself in the penitentiary for the next 20, 30 years. You understand what I'm saying? And you're not really getting no bread. Nothing is worse than to be sitting in the feds for 20 years and you really wasn't touching no M's. You heard? Now, if you touch 20, 30 M's and you got to lay up, at least you could sleep that night like, yo, I ran through 20, 30 M's in these streets. You feel me? But if you ain't see no bread and you got to sit up and do 10 and 15, 20 years and all of that, that's not it. That ain't what it is.
Yeah, and that's what they'll tell you. A lot of dudes be like, you know what I'm saying? Because you tough with a name. Like, you just got a name, but dudes be struggling and everything. Like, still behind the wall with a name. You know, you spot a rat behind the wall. What's some telltale signs that Buddy snitching?
I mean, you know, it's a bunch of dudes I was locked up with that they got reputations for maybe ratting on somebody here and there. But I'm going to tell you something else, son. Like, I was locked up with some dudes that they ratted on things, but you ain't gonna be calling them dudes no rats, son. You heard? Because they will body you, like, real talk. Like, dudes that sound good, like, just be like, yo, no rat, son. I know dudes that's rats, my bro, and they are murderers. You heard? They murderers. So you can call them dudes a rat if you want to. your life is gonna be in danger. You understand what I'm saying? So some dudes, they was rats, bro, but they get super busy. And it's like, dudes could talk that, yo, he a rat. That don't mean a dude is soft because he a rat. Some dudes is rats, they just don't. Some dudes is rats because of how tough they are. You see Omar on The Wire? He ratted through the tire on the stand and he was like, I'm going back to the streets. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. You understand what I'm saying? I know dudes like that. I know some dudes like that have ratted on dudes and they like, I dare somebody call me a rat. And they the type of dude that if somebody be like, oh, son is a rat, dudes just be like, yo, I'm out, son, peace. Fuck you. You understand what I'm saying? So
it
depends on the dude, bro. It depends on the dude.